Ladies and gentlemen, I know this isn't the usual time that I tend to do reactions for all of you, but circumstances aside, I'm glad I'm here to give you my reaction to One Piece's chapter 1144. Got a sneeze coming out. All right, it's out of my system. It's time to get started. Let's go. Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here, and welcome to yet another chapter of One Piece. Let's go over what we learned in the last one. And actually, I had to go down the list to see when was the last time we had 4 chapters within a single month. And apparently, the last time we had 4 chapters within a single month was June of last year. Because we had one on June 2nd, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. Wait a minute. Okay, I think we went on break because it's kind of ending. It's kind of having the same setup as June, because June had wow, this is actually just the same as June. The only difference is we went on break in June and still had an extra chapter for it. But the last 2 chapters we got for June was on the 23rd and the 30th, the same way it is for March today, with the last one we got on March 23rd, and now we have one on the 30th. So yeah, it was the last time, Halster, good to see you. The last time we had a chapter, hold on, let me not be so close to the light so it's not too bright. The last time we had four chapters within a month was June of last year. But last we left out on, we learned not only the capabilities of some of the holy knights, being Saint Somers, who has the power of the thorn fruit, but we also learned that, well, we pretty much just confirmed that Remo Shifu Killingham is the user of the dragon fruit mythical type model Chilin. So he's the one that is manipulating the dreams of all the children and creating the monsters from their nightmares while they're basically trying to kidnap the children. Not only that, but Loki has pretty much fallen unconscious because he can't even remain conscious with his wounds, and Luffy's trying to, save him and heal him, which everyone is reluctant to. So that's going on. So now let's see what happens while all this chaos is transpiring. Now let's see what happens in chapter 1144, A Time for Warriors. And here we have Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 29, Minatomo the Carpenter and the Girls Are Freed. So, not only do we have Who's Who has been completely subdued, but now we also have Minatomo the Carpenter, who's been rescued. And we have all the women that were being kidnapped. They've been rescued by Yamato because Yamato just came in and just wrecked shop. And the thing is, we currently don't see who's who. We don't see who's who's here. Well, like, we see the people that serve under who's who, and they've been subdued by Yamato. But who's who is gone, along with Page 1 and Ulti. And we have Tama here looking after Minatomo, while Yamato's looking after the women. And you can really see that Yamato is an incredibly tall person because he basically towers over all the women here. So Yamato's a big person. But yeah, that's one more chapter for Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage. Onwards, and we have Frankie. Ooh. We get Frankie with Ripley. Whoa! What is this?
Well, what do you think it is? It's been here for ages.
It looks like pure science to me. And it's just like this big facility. Like, it's a big facility in Elbaff. Like a actual science facility. Was Vegapunk here before? Was Vegapunk here?
It's been here for ages.
It looks like pure science to me.
See, I figured a mechanical man like you would enjoy it more than anyone else.
What's a facility like this doing in a kingdom of warriors? And then we get Vegapunk and Bonnie.
Hey, up here, Frankie. I'm glad you found this place. I was going to tell you about it later. It's really cool inside, Frankie.
And Frankie is surprised to see Lilith and Bonnie here. Lilith? Bonnie? What are you two doing here?
We got lost. Thank you for finding us.
Even a genius can be bad at directions, I guess. I will not be perturbed by these coughs. I've been waiting to read this chapter all day. Even a genius can be bad at directions, I guess. And then we have Ripley again.
I'm glad we ran across you then. I've been hearing alarms in the distance, so there's probably danger in the woods.
And then Lilith chimes in.
Anyway, listen to this. I can hardly believe this place. By my estimation, this building stood here for at least 3 millennia.
Okay, so much for my idea. So much for my idea that this is something that Vegapunk had to deal with. 3 millennia? 3 millennia. Hold on. Day, month, week, year, decade, century, millennia. Doesn't millennia talk about thousands of years? Because saying 3 centuries would be 300 years. This thing has been here for 3,000. There's no way. Hold on. No. I need to make sure that I'm right. Hold on. Hold just a cotton picking minute here. Hold on. Millennia. That's 1,000 years, isn't it? Not millennial, millennia. It's 1,000. This thing has been here for 3,000 years. What do you mean this thing has been here for 3,000 years? The furthest we know of history is 800 years of that unnamed kingdom in the past. That's as far as history as we know. This is a building that's older than everyone in existence. 3,000 years? I'm sorry, that caught me off guard. This is now the oldest thing that exists within the world, even older than that ancient civilization that we know, as far as we know. But
anyway, listen to this. I can hardly believe this place. By my estimation, this building stood here for at least 3 millennia.
What? Don't lie to me. Do you realize how ancient that makes it? And then Ripley comes in and goes,
I can't say she's wrong, though. Even at Elbaff, we have no record of what this building is.
Then that just makes it all the more worth studying. I'll think I'll settle down here and live here.
You sure you won't get lost? Anyway, let me check out the inside too. And then before anything else happens, Bonnie screams and goes,
What's the matter, Bonnie?
What's the matter, Bonnie?
And they look and we see one of the things that the children has created that they're afraid of.
Behind you! There's something creepy!
What I'm afraid of, lightning. And we have living lightning that is there right next to, right around Ripley and everyone else. So the lightning nightmare has found Frankie and Ripley. Oh, Elbaff, land of mystery and wonder. And then Ripley immediately gets serious and goes,
No, this isn't natural. I don't know what that is.
Then we cut to the western village. What I'm afraid of, Draugr. Sober up and grab your weapons.
The firefighting sphere is down.
That looks like a Draugr to me. It's a darn zombie. And then all the rest of the giants are already getting their weapons because they're ready to square up. I told you this before we got to Elbaff, that if you roll up in Elbaff, you better be ready for a fight. And now they're all ready.
Is this related to children's daydream somehow? What's going on?
Where are the captains? Someone needs to take command.
They drank too much and had to rush to the bathroom.
What? And then we get Brooke. That looks awfully familiar. Is it an enormous me? Because the Draugr is basically a giant skeleton.
Quick, take the visitors away from the village. Ready? I'm gonna move the whole desk.
Wait, hold on! Don't treat us with kid gloves! We want to fight too!
You see,
And then
Hey, don't treat us with kid gloves!
we wanna fight too.
and then Jinbei chimes in going,
You said that awfully quiet. Whatever this is, it doesn't seem like business as usual for Elbaff.
and then Nami is quiet. Nami is quiet, and then we have someone going, "No, Kowloon, you can't!" And Kowloon goes,
Why not? I'm a warrior too! I want to fight!
Of course you can't.
But I'm the son of Gabon!
Exactly. You're not Gabon. Go find safety with the rest of the children and stay put. Go it.
and this giant just shoos him aside. Mind you, sure, he's the son of Gabon, but he's not Gabon. If he was on par with Gabon, this wouldn't even be a question, but he is not as strong as his father.
Go find safety with the rest of the children and stay put. Go it.
And then Nami pipes up,
Hey, Jarl!
What is it, girl?
There's something we need to tell you about. I'm sorry we didn't bring it up earlier.
An intruder who looks like red hair in the castle?
Yes, sir!
"Oh wait, this is one of the giants talking."
Yes, sir. The pair were incredibly strong. One of them used strange powers.
The quickest answer to most mysteries in this world is a devil fruit of some kind. If these phenomena are unfamiliar to you, then there's a good chance that those folks are behind it all. Inform their entire country that two humans unrelated to the Straw Hat crew has infiltrated. Tell me as soon as they're found.
You got it, Chief.
And then Brooke chimes in. "Do you really think there are just two of them, causing all of these strange phenomena? Perhaps we should expect more."
At least two!
At least two.
"You got it!" And then Nami chimes in.
I don't know who these people are, but if they're abducting children in broad daylight, they're despicable. We have to stop him.
"Oh,
We have to stop them!
the Straw Hats are getting involved!"
What are they gonna demand from Elbaff once they got the kids held hostage? I've never heard of an abduction like this.
It will not come to pass.
And then Jinbei chimes in.
We'll help too. Just give us a ship and someone to move us around. Nonsense. You are our guests. Stay in hiding where it's safe. But wait. Now where are Dory and Broggy?
"They're still in the bathroom, Chief."
Bunch of lightweights.
And then we get Jinbei and everyone else talking while everyone is basically left.
If the targets are human size, we'll have an easier time looking for them.
Yeah, exactly. Let the big guys fight the big guys. We'll search for the intruders.
And then Brooke chimes in.
The problem is that Elbaff is too huge for us to cover.
And then Nami goes,
Hmm.
and she sees Kowloon, who's secretly getting weapons together.
Huh? You're not gonna stop me? You want to ride with me? Okay then, I'm the captain.
And then Nami is just giggling to herself, thinking,
That's so adorable. And we're off. Man the oars, Kowloon pirates. You're the biggest one here. You do the rowing. Onward!
and then we have Gunko listening to some music.
Message to all of the Sun World. Humans unrelated to the Straw Hat crew have been spotted at Aura's castle.
And she's listening to music and she's just going, chaka, chaka. And she's just jamming on some music.
They have demonstrated overt hostility and are considered...
And then it cuts to the rest of the Holy Knights just still at that table.
Yeah, it's Gunko's post-meal ritual.
It is not a ritual. I just like doing it.
TDS, huh? I prefer listening to a live musical performance, and whoever flubs a note first.
And then there's a bang sound.
But it's nice to have a hobby you can carry around with you. What's that song you like so much?
New World.
Is she listening to one of Brooke's songs? For the new world, for the new world. Is she listening to one of Brooke's songs?
What's that song you like so much?
New World.
What, you got a problem with the one we already live in?
Don't make fun of what other people like, Summers.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. But hey, look, the adults are trying their hardest to save the kids.
And then we have Saul, who's got some shields.
Yeah, there, this should keep me safe. Now, I'm gonna stop 'em cold.
Good luck, Saul!
And this,
Good luck, Saul!
and this is Chopper with Robin as he's preparing. As he's preparing to stop the kids.
I can tell y'all are just following this stationary cloth thingy. And the cloth is heading right for the fire. You're gonna die if you keep going forward. So I'm gonna stop you.
And then he sticks the shields in front of Ilva. He sticks the shield in front of one of the kids, and the kid stops. But
There, she stopped.
But when he does, the thorns around the children also react to the children behind. And one child walks directly into the thorns, and it kind of the thorns poke into the other children by doing this.
No, I'm sorry. Eva, Scaldy, you okay back there, Olaf? What a disaster. If you stop one, the others damage each other with the spikes.
And even Robin is upset by this.
This is awful. It's sadistic. Saul, I think our only option is to search for whoever's powers these are.
And then Saul goes,
Do we even know if they're nearby? But the kids are gonna throw themselves into the fire while we search. I gotta try everything I can.
and Saul manages to get a rope around one of the kids.
If we can't stop them from the front. If we can't stop them from the front, I'll start with Bjorn in the back.
And he gets a rope around him.
There! I got him loose from the line. Now if we just peel them off one at a time.
And while he's tugging on one of the kids, Saul notices something.
Huh?
And right there is what I'm afraid of, Fenrir. So while he pulls one kid away, one of the kids' fears of Fenrir rears up and is right next to the children.
Huh? Are they working together somehow? Who's controlling this thing and from where?
And even Chopper screaming out. Ah! And then we get back to Anji and the principal.
Mr. Principal, it's not just the Western Village. Other villages are reporting back about similar monsters.
This is happening all over Elbaff. It seems clear that these are devil fruit powers at work. We must identify the culprits.
Agreed.
Then outside of the Western Village, and we got more people as they apparently... Oh, the giants brought down the Draugr.
There we go. Draugrs aren't especially supposed to exist, though. And look at how much trouble it was just to stop one of these things.
Get the wounded to the village. And while they're doing that, one of the other nightmares comes up and just breathes fire directly onto the giants.
Huh? Ah! Needhogger!
What I'm afraid of, Needhogger.
It's no use. There are just too many monsters.
And along with Needhogger is what I'm afraid of, Ghost. So Needhogger, Needhog, and a Ghost are right there.
We can't protect the village. Flee for your lives!
And then we get someone raising an axe. And then another person raising a sword.
It's our turn, bro. It's our turn, Dory. Indeed, Brogy. Hakoku sovereignty!
And both Dory and Broggy, while they're on the Great Eric, they just fly through and obliterate Needhogger and the Ghost.
Hakoku!
Woo! Let's go!
for them being lightweights, huh?
Yes! The captains! I mean, the giant pirate crew! Sorry for taking so long. We had to puke up all we drank. Such a shame. We'll exterminate all those monsters. You folks help the children.
It's the Great Eric's Far Edition!
You're gonna get it now, all you monsters.
Why'd you bother to sober up?
And then on this ship, along with Dory and Broggy, is...
What? Look! It's Mr. Ya, the Mountain Eater! That ship is unstoppable!
Gavin is joining in. I thought he was just going to keep to himself, but no, he's joining in with Dory and Broggy. Oh. Ooh. I think these holy knights are about to be in trouble. You got a member of the Roger Pirates fighting to get rid of all these monsters now. Like Fred, I can't believe Scopper Gavin is going to be fighting. But man, okay, chapter. Okay, chapter. I see you. Now everyone is preparing to... The chaos is continuing. And now we got the Straw Hats trying to make their moves as well, trying to find out what's happening with the children. First of all, what is a building 3,000 years old doing on Elbaff? Okay? The furthest in time we have gone is 800 years ago. And we only know of just from 800 years ago, there exists an ancient civilization where the technology from this place, cross-engineered, is 500 years ahead of where humanity is right now. At the time, that was the furthest back in history we have ever gone. Now we have a building here that is not only older than 800 years, it is 3,000 years old. And it's still here. That's where Vegapunk's going to be now, in this facility. If it turns out this facility has technology that Vegapunk can work with easily, then our whole mindset of just how advanced this, if this comes from the ancient civilization from like 800 years ago, and even back then, and Vegapunk is able to use everything as if he doesn't need to skip, as if Lilith Vegapunk doesn't need to skip a beat, then this ancient civilization is way more advanced than we thought. If the technology in this ancient building can still work. And mind you, I'm only saying this on the pretense that this building can actually has the facilities necessary for Vegapunk to continue where she left off. I'm just saying that on the assumption. But the fact that there's a building here from 3,000 years ago, this means that it is possible that this building existed during the first world, the telling of the first world, existed during the telling of the second world, and exists even now. I have so many questions. So let me acknowledge everyone here. Owly! Good to see you. What is that scream? Nice voices, bro, but hey, what's going on? So this exceeds the Void Century. Yep, a millennia is 1,000 years. The palace in Alabarna was built 4,000 years ago. Tree of Knowledge was 5,000 years ago. Okay. Let me see. 3,000 years. I'm sure the next cover page will have Ulti in page 1. Let me see. Let me just acknowledge everyone. Holster, one of my fellow mods, and member Ozzy. Good to see you as well. Kitty as well. Hello. And then we got Owl D, and then we have it's just you guys. Okay, cool. No break either. No break. Let me see. I love how Yamato is holding a sheath sword like he would his regular weapon, because giant Odin. Yeah, Yamato's holding the sword the same way he would be holding his Kanabo. Let me see. What's up? Holster? 3,000 years. You're right. Yeah. So this it exceeds the Void Century. I'm surprised that Frankie didn't say, huh? Zeus? So house chat, just like Momo may be the son of Odin, but he is not Odin, same applies to Kowloon. He may be the son of Gavin, but he is not Gavin. Let's see. You can give my share to Q or High Dragon. Stop giving me pollen. I don't need pollen. I don't need pollen. My eyes get kind of watery when it deals with pollen, so I don't need it. I don't need it at all. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let's see. Thank God I don't have any allergies that would drive me nuts. Pollen is annoying. But it's only in my eyes. It's never in my nose, but it's never a nose thing, but it's always my eyes things. And that's only if I stand prolonged in pollen. But thankfully, I tend to stay indoors the majority of the time unless I got to do yard work. And even then, I got goggles. Oh, dude, one wouldn't have to have allergies to be affected by what we got in the driveway. Got a good solid coating. That's not a good sign. Funny thing is, I could see Luffy getting mad at Kowloon for claiming he's the captain, and of course Nami's going upside his head. He's just, yeah, she would do that. She's a friend of Brook. Interesting. Yeah, Salmers is a sick individual. Not only is his devil fruit dangerous to people trying to save the kids, but it is also still dangerous to the kids. So think of it this way. Salmers is so sadistic with his thorn fruit due to the fact that, hey, the parents may not be able to touch him, but the kids can't get close to each other while that devil fruit is active either because they can wind up hurting themselves, as Saul found out. You can't just stop the kids because the other kids will just walk right into the thorns. Not only into the thorns of the other kids, but also the thorns that is encircled around them. So it's also a torturous technique where people can't save the kids, and the kids can't save themselves because the thorns would just harm them. So yeah, Salmers is a sick individual, and he just says like, every rose has its thorns. Let's watch the parents writhe in agony as they can't save their children as we walk them straight into a fire. I hate Salmers. Because I hate to see the mistreatment of kids. Y'all know how I was. I was toe up and I found like Sanji's backstory, one of the saddest backstories for a child I've ever seen. And then you had one for Yamato when Yamato was a child. But I just hate the mistreatment of kids. And whoever's mistreating the kids needs to be beaten. Just beaten badly. But here we have Salmers who does not care if children get afflicted by this power and are damaged by this power, are hurt and harmed by this power, and he just enjoys it. So he needs to either die or he needs to get beaten up so bad that he is out of commission, just permanently. So yeah, he is a sick individual. Can't believe I forgot to read the chapters today, but hey, at least I can read alongside you reacting to them. Yes. Let's see, if I know Oda the way I know him, chapter 1145 is going to be fire. Every chapter ending in 5 or 0 usually ends up with something epic happening. I mean, we just ended this chapter with Dory and Bragi coming back using Hakuki. And then we have Gavin, who is on the ship, on the Great Eric with them. So we have Dory and Bragi and Scopper Gavin. As their look, I can't think of 3 individuals better to take down all of these nightmares. Now, let's hope these nightmares can't regenerate, or if they're just permanently dissipated. I wonder if that's the thing that can happen to the nightmares risen by the special ability of the dragon. I'm just gonna say mythical type Chilling. I'm just gonna say by the mythical type Chilling fruit. Yeah, and no break. Yeah, no break. I keep messing up Yamato's pronouns, so I'm just going to classify them as Odin. I'm just going to say Yamato for the most part, because it's very easy to say woman due to, Yamato's physical stature. But since Yamato refers to themselves as a dude because of their ginormous admiration for Odin, I try to say he as much as possible because that's what Yamato wishes. But most time I just say Yamato without using he or her, so just so I can avoid that, because no one will have a problem if I just refer to Yamato as in the third person. So no one would have a problem with that, because people can have a problem with that because it's the internet. But yeah, they want to be Odin, so I shall classify them as Odin. I'll still classify them as Yamato simply because the story is called Yamato's Surrogate Golden Pilgrimage. So I'm going to refer to them as Yamato, unless Oda says that this is now Odin. I'm just going to keep referring to them as Yamato, which I don't see happening simply because Odin was his own person. So I don't think Oda wants us to get too confused on it. So I'm just going to keep referring to them as Yamato. So I'm just taken aback by this chapter. Let me see if I can find some notes, because y'all know I love reading notes. I love reading notes. We also got Sakamoto Days, Odin or Yamato, either works. I'm just going to keep referring to them as referring to him as Yamato. So let me see. One Piece. Also, everybody, I know I had a long day. I know I had a long morning, and most of y'all are so used to me doing things at 1 o'clock, but this was important. We had a homegoing service for one of our oldest members at my church, and she was like an enormously powerful lady. Like, her whole spirit is just amazing. And there were so many people celebrating her life, friends and family, people we never met before. And it was just an amazing service. Of course, I had to kind of try and tiptoe out near the end because I had to come home and make sure the dogs were good, because had I gone straight from here to the eatery where we were going to eat at, then the boys wouldn't have eaten all day, and I want to make sure they were good. Also, food was lovely with the family. I got myself some salmon with a side of mashed potatoes and some breaded mac and cheese and sweet tea, and it was quite good. Don't ask me to do nothing else the rest of the day because I am shot. But overall, it was good. Thank you, everyone, for being patient when I said I had to take care of this today. I don't think there's I can only hope that that we won't have to worry about another funeral service anytime soon. But should anything happen, you guys know I will let you know first. So thank you for being patient. Thank you for showing up, because it's like 5 o'clock. I normally don't do reactions for you guys this late, but thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate it. Let me get chapter 11. Nothing beats good food. Oh, yes, it was crazy good food. I haven't had salmon in a minute, and I am so grateful that I was able to enjoy it today. So, chapter 1144, let's go through the long summary. Y'all know I like reading. Ripley, no problem, Captain. Thank you. Also, thank you, Ozzy. Thank you, Kitty. And any other members I have, thank you for just being members in general. And, oh, Kitty coming in with a super chat. Thank you. Family first. Exactly. Hold on. Let me do this. Yes. Thank you. Late night reactions. Oh, really? All right. I forgot the time zone is different for you since you're in the UK. But long summary. But yes, thank you to every member I have. And I just want to say that I appreciate you. Thank you for all the support you guys show me every single month. It means the world to me. And I'm still working on some more stuff for you guys exclusively, because April's going to be the month where I start to change up some things for the channel for the better. So I will be doing some more stuff for you members in the future. Now, let's move on to the long summary, because I'm droning on. I can do a thank you stream any other time. Ripley brings Frankie to what seems... I got to do my announcer voice. I got to do my professional narrator voice. Ripley brings Frankie to what seems to be the remains of a giant robot-like structure. So, 3,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, they had technology where things were already futuristic. 3 millennia ago. 3 millennia ago. Ripley brings Frankie to what seems to be the remains of a giant robot-like structure, which he finds rather out of place in a country filled with warriors. Lilith and Bonnie greet Frankie from within as they had found the place first, though it was actually due to the both of them getting lost. Gotta go, catch y'all later. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Tell the kittens I said hello. The man with the funny voices has a voiceover stream he'll be doing for them, so if they'd have any voices they would like for me to do, make sure you let me know. You're on Discord, so I'm pretty sure you will. Though it was actually due to the both of them getting lost. Ripley warns the two that she had heard alarms in the distance, and now she can warn them about potential dangers nearby. But Lilith tells Frankie that by her estimate... Oh, we see Gunko secretly or maybe visibly fangirling over Brooke. That'd be funny. It would be funny. To have one of the Holy Knights geeking out over a member of the Straw Hat crew simply because she's listening to Brooke's song New World. Let me get back to this. But Lily tells Frankie that by her estimate, this facility has been in Elbaff for 3 millennia, which Frankie finds hard to believe. But Ripley supports this, saying they have no record of this building. Regardless, Lilith decides to make the facility her new base of operations, but just as Frankie asks to look inside himself, Bonnie warns the both of them that something is behind them. That something is one of Killingham's MMAs, which took the form of a lightning cloud with a face on it. At first, think Zeus! Think Zeus! But if Big Mom corrupted him permanently. That something is one of Killingham's MMAs, which took the form of a lightning cloud with a face on it. At first, Frankie thought it was just something natural to Elbaff, but Ripley clarifies that the opposite is true. In the Western Village, the large skeletal MMA, the Draugr, which is called a Draugr, begins its assault on the village, forcing the warriors to sober up to fight back. Unfortunately, both Dory and Broggy are absent to give the Giants commands, as apparently they drank too much and ran to the bathroom. The Giants prepare to move the Straw Hats away from the fight, but Usopp tells them they want to help, albeit very quietly. Kowloon is forbidden from fighting too, despite his claim that he is a warrior and the son of Gabin, instead being told to take shelter with the rest of the children, and the fact that, he may be the son of Gabin, we already said, but he is not Gabin. Finally, Nami tells Jarl about their expedition to the castle, and he learns from the injured guards, I knew those were the guards, he learns from the injured guards about the Shanks look-alike, and another one of them was using a strange power. Jinbei surmises it was the work of a devil fruit, and it is possible these large monsters are the work of these unknown intruders. Jarl orders that everyone in the country is informed of these intruders, and to notify them once they are found. Though Brooke adds there may be more present, so Jarl tells them to warn there are at least 2 instead. Nami becomes furious that these people would abduct children in broad daylight, as is everybody else. And Usopp fears what the attackers will demand of the country once the children are their hostages. Well, we all know. They want to take the children hostage so that the Holy Knights and all of Marijois can take control of the entire giant nation of Elbaff. We know. While Jinbei offers to help stop them, Jarl refuses, citing that the Straw Hats are their guests and they should hide somewhere safe instead. After the giants leave, Jinbei says if the intruders are human-sized like them, they would have a much easier time dealing with Usopp saying giants can handle the large monsters. Of course, the country is too big to cover on foot for them, but Nami sees Kowloon dragging a bag of weapons. The 4 approach him, and once he sees they do not plan on stopping him, he agrees to let them ride on his ship, provided they make him the captain. Back with the God's Knights, the 3 of them hear the announcement that humans aside from the Straw Hats have been spotted, but they largely ignore it. Somers sees Gunko listening to music and calls it her post-meal ritual, but she denies this, calling it something she just enjoys. Somers says he prefers a live musical where he can shoot the person who flubs a note first. Wait a minute, did he say that? Did that man say that if someone messes up a note, I like songs where people can mess up a note? That's what the bang was! That's what the bang was! He was referencing that if someone messed up a note, he could freely shoot them! I hate him. I hate him. He's like that moment where Bugs Bunny is tired of that person coughing in the crowd, but instead of it being he's the one who's performing and the person coughing is interrupting him, he's the one in the crowd watching the person perform, and if they mess up, he shoots them dead. Because they messed up. That's what the bang was. I was wondering what it was. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him already. My goodness. Let me see. Somers says he prefers a live musical where he can shoot the person who flubs a note first, but he admits it is nice to carry a hobby with you before asking what song she's listening to. And surprisingly, she says she's listening to New World. Somers laughs and asks if Gunko is dissatisfied with the current world, only to be chastised by Killingham for making fun of others' interests, which he apologizes for. But he then comments on the adults' attempts to save the children. Saul equips himself with 2 shields to protect himself from the thorns, but though he manages to stop one of the children, The others bump into the one in front, causing the thorns to hurt both of them, to the horror of Saul and the disgust of Robin. See, one thing you'll realize about Robin is that, like Nami, she does not take kindly to the mistreatment of kids. She does not take kindly to this at all. So this is already something that is worthy of Somers getting that demonio, that jacuzzi clutch. Robin tells Saul they should search for the source of these powers, but he warns if they do not do anything, the children will walk straight into the fire. And mind you, the fire is not far from the kids, so they need to do something now. Let's see. Saul grabs some rope and lassos one of the children from behind, but one of the MMAs, a Fenrir, prepares to attack, causing Saul to realize that the monsters are trying to keep anyone from interfering. What? Guess she wasn't the biggest fan of Bone to be Wild? Apparently not. Too bad things won't go the way the world government plans. Luffy has a habit of ruining people's plans. See? One thing that gets me is how people who try to make plans against the Straw Hats, it never works out. Not just to the world government, but other pirates. We saw this where Crocodile was so intent on taking out all the Straw Hat crew and intent on taking out Luffy. Luffy almost died, but fate was on his side. He was not fated to die that day, and he came back and he beat Crocodile into submission with one of the greatest beatdowns in One Piece history with Gum Gum Storm. And then later on, we cut all the way into the New World, and he faces off against Doflamingo. He literally lures Luffy there with the promise of trying to get Luffy trying to get the Meta Meta no Mi. Plans get turned awry as soon as Sugar gets knocked out because of Usopp. And then the plans just go out the window and it doesn't go in good Doflamingo's favor and he falls. Then we fast forward to even more powerful people like Big Mom and Kaido. Big Mom intended to take out Luffy when he was there at Whole Cake Island. Kaido intended to break Luffy's spirit and make him a servant and make him serve within the beast, the animal kingdom pirates, the beast pirates. That didn't work out. And Kaido got the worst beating of his life, which resulted in him and Big Mom being caught up in an undersea explosion with their fate still unknown, presumably dead. Any time the world government or anyone against the Straw Hats tries to make plans to stop them, or the Straw Hats are in the vicinity and these people are making plans that could conflict with the Straw Hats, they basically just shred that plan into pieces. We'll talk more about this because tomorrow is the 31st, and thus it is going to be a One Piece reflection session after I get done with Kaiju number 8. So we're definitely going to talk about all 4 of the chapters that we got this month. But it's crazy how anytime someone tries to come up with plans and the Straw Hats get involved, you might as well throw those plans out. Unless those plans are meant to wow, how did I not notice that whenever someone has plans for oppression, they always get destroyed by the Straw Hats? And when someone has a plan for liberation, freeing a nation from that oppression or dictatorship or anything else, it is the Straw Hats always come in to help with that liberation. You ever noticed? You ever noticed that Luffy, even before we found out what his devil fruit really was, he's been a warrior of liberation ever since. And plans that deal with liberating anyone or anything or an entire nation, it is always the Straw Hats at the center of it, if not the revolutionaries. Every single time. I thought Kaiju number 8 was tomorrow. Yes, that's the reason why I said Kaiju after. There was going to be a One Piece Reflections after I read Kaiju number 8. I said that. But you ever notice when there are plans to liberate a nation from the oppression of those who are trying to lord over others, and the Straw Hats are involved, that liberation succeeds. We've seen it before. Arlong Park, the Orange Town, Dressrosa, Wano. We've seen it time and time again. So now we have that same situation where people are looking to oppress, enslave, kidnap, and now we're here in Elbaff. How long before the plans of the Holy Knights get thrown out of rise simply because the Straw Hats get involved? It's only a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, but of when. True and Teach has the nerve to have a move called Liberation. Yeah, ain't that weird? Ain't that weird? He's one of the most evil individuals simply because he's the most piratey of any person in the entire story, but he has a move called Liberation. But he's not the type of person to liberate anyone. He's the type to enslave. That's the reason why he has multiple jail cells with slaves on, Hachinosu. But we're not done yet. Let's see. I went off on a full tangent here. Please forgive me. Saul grabs some rope and lassos one of the children from behind, but one of the MMAs, a Fenrir, prepares to attack, causing Saul to realize that the monsters are trying to keep anyone from interfering. In the western village, the Draugr is finally brought down, but several warriors were injured in the process. Two other MMAs, a Nidhogr and a Ghost, proved to be too much for the warriors, forcing everyone to flee. Suddenly, Dory and Bragi appear and use a simultaneous Hakoku to destroy both of them and another MMA. So not only did Dory and Bragi combined, they took out two of those MMAs, but also one that just happened to be caught up in the crossfire too. The two apologized for being late as they were throwing up all the alcohol they drank to sober up. But now they are mad they wasted such good drink and are ready for payback. In addition, Gabon is present with the giant warrior pirates, giving the villagers hope to win. So, chapter notes. Frankie and Ripley arrive at the remains of a giant ancient facility and reunite with Lilith and Bonnie. Lilith estimates the facility is at least 3,000 years old. Lilith decides to make this facility her new base of operations. Nami informs Jarl about the earlier incident at Alris Castle and about the Shanks look-alike, to where Jarl orders a search for the intruders. Jinbei realizes the incident with the children might be the result of a devil fruit power and decides they need to locate the user to stop it. Nami, Jinbei, Usopp, Brook, and Kowloon head out on a boat to locate the intruders. Saul attempts to protect himself while stopping the children, only for the thorns to injure two children, and once Dory and Bragi sober up, the giant warrior pirates and Gabon head out to deal with the monsters. So we got the Mountain Eater and the legendary giant pirates, who are going to be legendary giant captains, Dory and Bragi, heading out to take care of all these nightmares. And once those are taken care of, now everyone will be able to focus on not only finding the children and saving them, but also kind of dealing with the fire that has erupted near on Elbaff right now. So that's what we got going on. I cannot wait for next week's chapter. Because if everyone's already making moves, there's no one staying stationary, which means that things are about to pop off really quick already. Now the question is, are we going to have a Straw Hat versus Holy Knights confrontation? And who is going to fight who? That's my question. Who's going to fight who? Because where's Sanji? Sanji's with Nami and everyone else, right? That's what I'm thinking. We'll talk about it. I won't keep you guys here any longer than I already have, because I got to move on to Sakamoto Days. But we will definitely talk about this chapter in tomorrow's reflections once we get to it, because there's a lot of ground to cover with 4 whole chapters throughout the month of March. This has been a wonderful month for One Piece. We got all these chapters, including one on my birthday. It's just been a great month for One Piece. But now, Somers screams Sanji opponent. Yeah, Sanji being the type of individual that says, like, well, my kicks can burn through your thorns because my fire is fueled by love. And then Somers will say, like,
Yeah, well, my thorns are just infused with love as well, so let's see whose love wins out in the end.
But we'll have to see. But all I know is, well, firstly, I'm actually surprised that we didn't come back to Luffy and Zoro dealing with Loki and everyone else, because they're still in the underworld. So there's still that to go on. Wait, isn't Sanji with Zoro and Luffy because Sanji is near Gerd? Or am I remembering incorrectly? I'm pretty sure that Sanji is with Luffy and Zoro right now. Simply because Gerd was there as well. Because I don't remember seeing Sanji in this. Sanji's not in this. No, Sanji's with Zoro and Luffy. He might have a sword, but the way he talked about thorns and love, there's more too many Sanjiisms for me to think he'd be a Zoro fight. And yes, he's with Sanji and Luffy and Zoro. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But yeah, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it in tomorrow's tomorrow's reflections for the month of March. I'll make a schedule for that later on. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been a good chapter of One Piece today. Now I am anxious to see the next chapter of Sakamoto Days. So to everyone here, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being patient with me and waiting this long to see my reaction to this newest chapter. Thank you for being patient. This was one of those days where I had to push everything back because I had a lot of important matters that deserved my attention and I needed to take care of and take part in. So I just wanted to say thank you for being patient with me. All I want to see is Jinbei do some fighting. We had a lack of Fishman Karate and Egghead. We had a lack of Jinbei fighting since Wano. Mind you, he was helping put some fires out, and the last time he had a major fight was against Who's Who, but it's been forever since we've seen Jinbei actually go out and actually do some Mizugokoro Kairyu Iponzio no Kosen Maigara Seiken. It's been so long. Sanji probably surrounded by giant women. Oh, that's right, he's with Luffy and Zoro, close people. Yeah. See you at Sakamoto Days. Yes. All right, I'm going to end it here because we'll talk more about One Piece tomorrow. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. Thank you all members. Thank you, Kitty, for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. It just means the world to me when you guys do stuff like that, and I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. You guys make this career so incredibly fun to do. And I got a lot of things I'm going to be doing for you guys in April, so look forward to it. But I'm done. Time to move on to Sakamoto Days. That was chapter 1018, by the way, all the way back then. Yeah. Hold on, cease. But thank you. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already because, well, you're coming back anyway. I know you are. And also because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later peoples, on to Sakamoto Days.